Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on just the Arrowverse as a whole because there's some bad news, depending on who you are, I guess. So, as you can tell by the title, and there's no point jumping around it, Batwoman was cancelled today. You'll probably see this video a few hours after the news came out because the news literally came out as soon as my previous video went out. So it was perfect timing. So I couldn't do this video straight away. I had to leave it for a few hours to allow that other video to sort of get some eyes, if you want to call it. Now, it was a weird day for news because 3 or 4 other shows on other places like Netflix and other networks were cancelled as well. It was pretty much cancellation Friday, if you want to put it. And also that Fantastic Four movie changed directors and is probably going to be delayed a bit. I don't know what's going on. I know that Friday is usually the day to dump news, but this Friday was a pretty crazy one. And it's also the final Friday in April, so maybe it's the last April Fool's, I don't know. But yeah, Batwoman was cancelled after 3 seasons. It's always been up in the air pretty much since the season ended as to whether it would be renewed, along with the show like Legends as well, and even Naomi. There's no news on those other 2 shows. We will come back to them a bit later in the video, but there is nothing on those 2 shows at the moment. But Caroline Drews, the showrunner for Batwoman, did put out a statement thing on Twitter. I think she actually announced it. I think her tweet came out like a few minutes before the actual news from like Deadline, TV Line, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, all those different sites. So this is what Caroline had to say. Just got the sad news that Batwoman will not be seeing a season 4. I am bummed but full of gratitude. What an honor to make 51 episodes. So many inspiring, brilliant people contributed to this series. Thank you producers, cast and crew. Thank you fans. We love you. So that's what she said. And there's been some other statements, I think, by like some of the actors. We won't go over them. You can go into their social media and stuff like that if you want to see what they had to say if you are interested. But that's what just the showrunner said. And without any reason, just the fact that it was cancelled. She didn't say it was cancelled, just that it won't be seeing a season 4 because cancelled is a negative term and she was trying to be positive. But yeah, this is the first Arrowverse show to be cancelled. This is the first Arrowverse show to be cancelled. Like, that's pretty crazy when you consider we're about to enter the 10th year of the Arrowverse and we've had all these different shows. This is the first one to actually properly be cancelled. Arrow ended, Supergirl ended, Black Lightning ended. They just ended on their own terms. But Batwoman didn't. The 3rd season, which was its best season, like, funnily enough, it's been cancelled after its best season. They set up a season 4. They set up these storylines. They didn't wrap up any characters. Like, everything was loose. Everything was loose-ended. So it's going to be extremely frustrating for people that are actually like full-on Batwoman fans and, watched week after week live on TV. I wasn't one of those people. Funnily enough, I dropped season 3 after about 4 episodes, just wasn't enjoying it. And everyone was saying, hey, it picks up. It's become its best season so far. And I was like, look, I'll wait till it's done and I'll just watch it all, not in one go, but like, at my own pace once the whole season's out. And I only finished watching it just over a week ago. I finished watching Batwoman season 3 and I was like, okay, I'm intrigued to see what they do in season 4. Well, that won't be happening. Now, Batwoman as a show had an interesting journey because, of course, we had the whole Ruby Rose exit after season 1, which then pretty much made season 2 a reboot of sorts and just another season 1 while still dealing with the Ruby Rose Kate Kane fallout. So season 3 was its first proper season, at least with the Ryan Wilder character. And it at the end of the day, I think it still produced a pretty decent season. Was it amazing? No. But like, it was still pretty decent where I would still watch it going into season 4. So the fact they still got 2 seasons out of it after all that drama after season 1, I mean, they can still be happy with that, I guess. And also, it was predicted by a lot of people, even when the show started, and there was all that negativity going into it, that it'd probably stick around for 3 or 4 seasons anyway. So the CW got their money's worth out of the property of Batwoman. Now, the one, it's weird saying a positive, but I guess it's like a silver lining in regards to the larger Arrowverse. They never really properly integrated this version of Batwoman, the Ryan Wilder version played by Javicia Leslie, within the Arrowverse. She wasn't in any crossovers or anything like that. So there's a bullet dodge there, I guess, because now they don't have to walk around, those eggshells and stuff. I know people are going to say, but hold on, Paige, what about Armageddon? But that was an alternate timeline that doesn't exist anymore. So, and that was in the future anyway. So that was like those certain amount of years in the future anyway. So it doesn't really matter too much. Now, of course, we could see the characters from Batwoman, return, in crossovers or in guest appearances in some way, shape or form if they want to do that. I'm not too sure how they're going to go about it. It really depends what these actors go and do, because I did see people celebrating a cancellation. It's always weird to me when people celebrate that stuff, especially if you don't watch the show, because these is people's jobs. Like, these are people that now have to go, not just the actors, like the people that get paid, like not minimum wage, but much lower than anyone that's on screen. You know, the people that, you know, just on set, like they have to go find another job now. They probably didn't know that Batwoman was cancelled until today. That's probably what's happened. So now they're on the hunt for another job within Vancouver to, you know, work on a show potentially. And, you know, it's pretty late for that. So I don't know if people will be jumping into new jobs straight away, at least everyone that was involved with Batwoman. But as we've seen, like when Black Lightning ended and even when Supergirl ended, we've had some characters come back, and even like Arrow, obviously, as well. We've had characters come back and appear in other shows, mainly The Flash, but even like Legends and stuff like that as well. So we could see that happen again. I guess it just depends on whether the, you know, the showrunners for those respective shows that are still on want to use those characters or not. Now, there is a big question going around social media, and that's whether Gotham Knights. We have this new CW show coming in, Gotham Knights, that's not connected to the Arrowverse, it's its own thing, and there's been a decent amount of hesitation around it because it's not. It's weird bringing in a DC property that like this that's not connected to your main thing, and you're seeing like Naomi struggle with it. So I'm intrigued to see whether Gotham Knights can jump over that hurdle. But a lot of people think that the Gotham Knights show is what's forced the Batwoman cancellation. So with Batwoman being cancelled, you can lock it in 100%, put your life savings on the fact that Gotham Knights will be picked up for series. Like, that's pretty much confirmed at this point. If it's not, it'd be the biggest shock in all history, because they went ahead and cancelled Batwoman. I think that's just because of Gotham Knights incoming onto the CW. Incoming onto the CW, does that make sense? We'll go with it. Now, I am very curious. Like, it's not going to be from me. I'm not going to really... This isn't what I'm thinking I'm going to be doing. But I'm very curious what other people do. Will there be bad blood towards Gotham Knights from the Batwoman crowd? Because you might go, oh, no one watched Batwoman. Batwoman trended every week on Twitter. Despite not being a massively watched show on the CW, it has its very loyal fans, and like even like Renewed Batwoman was trending all the time, along with like Renewed Legends of Tomorrow, and we'll get to Legends in a second. So I'm very curious to see if there's bad blood, like review bombing and stuff, which would be ironic as hell, because that's exactly what happened to Batwoman by the people that didn't want, you know, the certain, you know, avenues of representation or whatever it might be, and just didn't want the show to, you know, succeed in any way. So Batwoman got review bombed, but I've seen people threatening to review bomb Gotham Knights because of it potentially being why Batwoman was cancelled. So we'll have to see what happens, but Gotham Knights is in a bit of a shaky period already, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But Legends, and also Naomi as well, people have been wondering about what's going on with them. The CW upfronts are in about 3 weeks from now. So between now and then, we'll probably know. If it's going to be cancelled, you'll hear probably sooner than that. I think if we get to the point where nothing's been said nothing's been said, and the upfronts are the next day, they'll probably say that those shows are renewed. So there's still 3 weeks though. So you could get next Friday, they announce that Legends is cancelled, then the following Friday that Naomi is cancelled. I don't know which way they're going to go. I don't know what their schedule is like for next season on the CW and how many shows they need to fill slots with. So shows could be safe. But Batwoman was always the one at most risk because of Gotham Knights. So I'm not surprised that if shows are going to be cancelled, that Batwoman was the first one to be cancelled because of the other show that's coming in that pretty much is going to be addressing a lot, and like is set in the same city but in a different universe. It was going to be confusing. So it's not shocking that it's the first at the very least, you know. So we'll have to wait and see about those other shows, you know. But yeah, to wrap things up, because this will obviously be the last video that's focused around Batwoman in any way, shape, or form, it's odd. Like, the show had a big entry point, like, through Elseworlds, then the thing. I do think the Ruby Rose stuff really put, like a dent in the show, and then, like, they had to rebuild the show. It was always, like, it always felt like it was a car that was driving that was also being refueled at the same time. Like, it could never go at top speed because it was always being refueled, if that makes sense. And I don't think it was ever really to get allowed to, you know, achieve its like top pace and keep going properly. But I feel bad for the people that, you know, were really enjoying the show. Like, I enjoyed season 3 for what it was, and the show as a whole probably for what it was. But I do feel bad for the people that, you know, this was their favorite show. This was their Superman Lois. This was their Flash. This was their whatever. I do feel bad for those people, but sometimes that's just what happens with TV, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, even in some way you can. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below your general opinions about this. Are you surprised? Were you expecting this? Do you think it's because of Gotham Knights that this got cancelled? Because, as I said, this is the first Arrowverse show to actually be cancelled. So it's actually a pretty big thing. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Go check out my previous video I uploaded a few hours ago. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.